Hey Scorpio, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings. We take what works, we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength here, check your other major placements. And if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. It makes me happy and helps other people find the channel. So we're starting with the Oracle decks. Nice. We got a good one right off the bat. Starting with the Oracle decks for an intuitive vibe of where we're going, and then we'll move to the Tarot of Mystical Moments for a more traditional tarot spread. We might get a different storyline over there, or a continuation, or another perspective on the first one. We'll see. So I've got Moonology and Urban Crow Oracle that we're working on right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that was a good one that popped up, but now we've got some really interesting other energies here. So to preface everything we're about to look at, let's just talk about new moon in Sagittarius. Luck is on your side, okay? All right. So not maybe everything is here is under your control or is really going to be fabulous looking, but luck is on your side. So you can be confident in that. Put some confidence that in the end, this is going to turn out for you, okay? So, but right now you're at the beginning of a process. I'm not sure how straight this arrow is going to shoot towards your goal, looking at these other cards, but it could be a lot straighter than we think as far as like hitting that mark and hitting your goal. So luck is on your side. This is something to keep in mind and to have faith in. We have expect powerful change. I like this. I like this given what the Urban Crow gave us. New moon eclipse. Expecting powerful change. It looks like it's going to be for the better. Lucky, powerful change. So the situation can turn around, and both of these are new moons. A new moon eclipse, a real change. And luck to me is all those things that we can't control. So something outside of your control may shift and turn towards you. All right, so here's what Urban Crow gave us. Battle and trickery. So, yeah, you know, having a fight for something, having a fight. I mean, fighting for something, especially defending yourself or something like that, it's actually very sacred and very beautiful message to yourself that that you are worth fighting for, right? That you have as much value as anybody else. So that's positive. It's also really difficult energy, obviously, this battle. It's time out of the normal flow of things in conflict and fighting over something. You know, fighting itself isn't bad. You may need to you know, stand up for yourself or make sure that you're not being harmed. So there's something here. I'm going to actually look at the book with both of these. Trickery, because on the one hand, like I you know, my impression of it is important to this whole reading. On the other hand, I'm really loving how Cullinane has these other depths and layers to what she's talking about, and I like tapping into that as well. So, and then we have trickery. Something might not be what it seems. Like I think this crow is trying to look like leaves. It's just a pile of leaves, right? So there could be some deception here, some attempt to trick. And you may be battling that or fighting that. I wonder if this could be internal too, having an internal battle or trying to fool yourself. But anyway, we know that this situation, trickery and battle, not looking too hot right now, but luck is on your side and expect powerful change. So the energy could really change. It could be and the situation could change. So that it's more, but right now it looks a little grim. These are not my favorite energies to deal with at all. I don't even like to trick and I don't like to fight. So, but I will now. I've learned, you know, that fighting for what I value and for myself and for my space is actually a very sacred message to myself about my own inherent worth and value. So let's see what battle has to say. Crows are incredibly territorial and will fight intruders to maintain order within their space. You may find that defensive feelings are brewing, whether from within or from an external source. If you have perhaps stepped on some toes or entered into someone's territory uninvited, be prepared to deal with the consequences. This card may also indicate that you may need to defend yourself against someone attempting to infiltrate your space. And I like how she said infiltrate your space, because there's a sense that someone may be getting into your space through being sneaky. Someone might be being very sneaky right now. And I wish those cards, you know, like Seven of Swords, or Six of Swords, Seven of Swords, came with like some sort of, you know, name and specifics. So, you know, this trickery card isn't to create paranoia or fear where there shouldn't be one. This is like, you know, we talk about resonating and taking what works and leaving what doesn't. This is just for those of you that don't know already what this is. Some of you will know exactly what this is and who exactly is trying to trick you, but they're not being successful because you're willing to fight. But this could also be just, you know, just a reminder, not everybody here has your best interests at heart. We don't need to be paranoid about it. It's just a good thing to remember from time to time. So trickery crows are known for stealing another bird's stash and then hiding it, covering it up with leaves to throw it off its tracks. Oh, that's what that little thing is down there. Okay. Yes, similar to the energy of the Seven of Swords already, trickery brings to your attention that someone may be trying to deceive you. This card also may indicate that your situation could benefit from allowing for some innovative and creative thinking, right? So just because it's not what it seems, sometimes we need to fight for ourselves by holding our cards closer to our chest, right? We can't win the battle of the card game by having our cards like out here. We got to be a little bit sneaky, a little bit clever with our own truths and our own situation and what we're dealing with here. A little deception for the sake of the greater good may be warranted. Yes, it's not all just like you have to have full integrity, especially if you're in a pitched battle with someone. You can't just be the only one that's laying your cards out on the table all the time. You know, if you're worth fighting for. All right. Tarot of Mystical Moments. What have we for our Scorpio? This is your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. You know what I'm really liking? I like how the cards have repetition throughout the week, right? So Libra just got this card, and Virgo just got this card, and in Libras there were some that Virgo and Leo had just gotten. I like that. I like it sort of like weaving together, you know, like a French braid. And now we're going to add this card in, but it's going to come back around on this reading. I like it. I like it. I feel connected to tarot and to all of this when I see that. Okay, so Six of Cups in your recent past. This is funny. This is a card about the past in your past. So you've been remembering something, I think, really good, some happier time. Maybe it wasn't perfectly happy and it just looked happy on the surface. And when you look back, you're like, oh, yes, I wanted that balloon, but she said I couldn't have that balloon because I was too small. So then she gave me this other balloon, and it really hurt my feelings. Anyway, so this could be pleasant or unpleasant. She does seem to have a bit of a smile on her face. So remembering something that used to bring you joy, either a memory or a person or something that brought you a sense of levity and joy. It could have been an activity that you're remembering, like, oh yeah, I did used to draw. I love drawing. Drawing's so fun. Spend an hour drawing. You could just be remembering something from your past that brought you a lot of joy. A nostalgia card for sure. And then we have, in your current situation, Four of Pentacles. Maybe you got a little obsessed with this thing from the past. And this Four of Pentacles, she really likes her house and she's locked it away. So this is about sort of, I almost see this card as like a honeymoon period or a laying in when you have a baby, of just spending some time. It's like a period of time where it's okay to lock out the rest of the world. This card with the locks on it, it feels a little hostile maybe. But I like an interpretation of, you know what, I'm just really obsessed with my baby right now, and I just want to spend time with my baby for the next month or two. I'm sure I'll grow out of it. I'm sure we'll get used to this. This is sort of like, or, you know, I've falling in love and heading off on a honeymoon, separating from the rest of the world for a while to just enjoy something that you have. It can get a little possessive and a little weird, right? If our honeymoon goes on a long time, or there's like starts to be some sort of edict that you're not allowed to see other people, that's an issue. But if the obsession is temporary and natural and normal, I mean, everybody. You want to be the kid of the mom that's marginally obsessed with their child. You don't want marginally, not fully, right? But from time to time, it takes a moment to fall in love and really enjoy something. In this card, she's not necessarily enjoying. There might be some clinging aspect here and some grasping and overprotective. There might be a little bit of an overprotective vibe here, maybe triggered by these past memories of something that you enjoyed. And so maybe you're a little overprotective, like, yeah, I am drawing, but you know what? I'm not showing it to anybody because I remember now how people responded and so responded, and I don't want to be critiqued or whatever. So you could be just in this like protective space, maybe slightly overprotective, and maybe isolating from other people a little bit. I see it as a very mild. It's not the devil card where you're trapped or anything. It's just, you know, I'm a little protective right now, okay? And it's fine it's a fine space to be in for a period of time, especially with something that's close to your heart. So you may be being a little overprotective of something, a little slightly obsessed with something. She doesn't seem to be having a very pleasant experience, but in other decks, it's a much more pleasant experience. So it could be going either way here. I feel like maybe small obsession, a separation from the rest of the world as you hold on to something that's very dear to you and become very bonded with that thing. And then it's like an integration, like integrating something into your life and for a period of time needing to separate this relationship from other relationships, your relationship with, you know, as the metaphor we've been talking about, drawing, your relationship with drawing, and keeping it private and separate from the rest of the world for a while. It can be a period of time that can be just establishing a relationship, establishing how this is going to function or something like that. But there's also a possibility, if it goes on too long, it's obsessive and maybe a little unpleasant. Your hopes, your fears, clearly, unless you're a masochist, an emotional masochist, 3 of Swords, finding some truth here that could be deeply wounded. So communication, so if we're talking about, with our metaphor of drawing, so I'm just gonna, okay, I remember drawing, it used to bring me a lot of happiness, so now I'm gonna just sit in my room and I'm gonna draw for a while. I'm not gonna show anybody, and I don't wanna do anything else. I don't really feel like hanging out with people or doing anything else. I'm just gonna sit here and draw and not talk about it and not show anybody. Why? Because you're worried about getting hurt. You're worried someone's gonna give you some sort of scathing critique that's true for them, that they're gonna share their truth with you, and it's gonna hurt and it's gonna be painful. So you might be hiding away, secreting this maybe even this secret memory, because you're worried about the pain, a painful truth, a painful communication. It might not even be true. It might just be someone else's truth, right? These aren't your own arrows. These are someone else's arrows coming in and hurting you and piercing you and being wounded and having your feelings hurt. So you're worried about that. So this is why you've kind of locked yourself away and you're separating from other people, and maybe meaningfully so, especially if we're in this, you know, you're worried about getting wounded in a battle. You're worried about that. You're worried maybe someone's going to trick you into showing your things here. Or maybe, I mean, this was all about hiding things and being secret. And I'm really getting this, like, hiding something away from the rest of the world out of fear of getting hurt, of having a battle over it, a fight over it. Maybe you've always had like a family member that thought your drawing sucked. So, okay, you're going to do it again, but now you're just not going to talk to them about it because this is what's happened in the past, or this is what you're expecting or what you're worried about. You're worried about somebody hurting you with words, ideas, their truth, not necessarily your truth, but just because someone says something doesn't mean it's true. So, but you're worried about it. So that's why you've secreted away and why you're being really private about this. Ten of Wands would be, in the upright, would be the end of a burden, end of a difficult, hard situation, where other people's expectations, other people's wants, other people's issues have weighed on you and have been part of your life and part of your path and have prevented you from pursuing things that you wanted to pursue. But now you see what you want. So this would normally, in the upright, we'd be talking about this is the end. This is the end of you carrying this burden of what other people think and other people's truths and other people's opinions about this thing that you're sort of doing in secret or separating away from the world for, because, you know, the world can be a really painful place. People have a lot of painful opinions, intentional or otherwise. So, and that's where I'm starting to see this trickery card, is you hiding something. Being sneaky about something because you want to avoid this pain. You want to avoid the pain and suffering. You know there's going to be a battle here. But in the upright, we'd say it's over. It's done with. It's time for you to put the burden down. You see what you want. You see where you want to go with this. You see what you want, and you need to put all these shoulds down. In the reverse, you're not at a point where you can or you can see how to put these shoulds down, to let other people's arrows glance off of you and not land a blow. To you don't see it. It's still burdening you. It's still holding on to you. You can't. You're having some difficulty. It can also be like you don't need to do anything. It's falling away all by itself, which is what I'm getting on this expect luck is on your side and expect powerful change. So in the reverse, we can also get a sense of, so it could be you not ready yet to put the burden down. It could also be the burden falling away all by itself. Something shifting, something changing, your luck opening up, the situation itself changing, somebody else doing some changing and allowing this burden and these shoulds to fall away. So there could be some sort of a passive way in which this burden is released and it's not of your doing, or because in the reverse, you're not doing anything. You're not dropping the burden. You're not shaking off the burden. You're not shrugging off the burden. Either the burden is falling away or you're not there yet, and you need to keep carrying, and you're going to keep carrying this issue of other people's shoulds, other people's truths, other people's ideas of what should be going on. But you're not ready to take any action here yet. You're not taking the action. Either the action is happening to you and in the world around you, creating this opening, relieving you of some sort of burden, or you're just not there yet. You're not ready yet. But it's coming. Like, you can see what the problem is these other people's truths, other people's issues. So in your environment, you have the Hermit card. So this could either be a Virgo you might know, or this could also be being isolated. Like, this is isolation by choice, and this is isolation by your environment just has you a little bit isolated. But this isolation provides an opportunity for you to find your true path, for you to find yourself, for you to find your own inner light, your own, for you to discover and connect with your own inner compass. So this isolation around you, you've isolated yourself, and it looks like it might actually be a really great idea right now to help you get clear on what you want, so that you can reach out for it and shed the burdens of all the things you don't want, right? The Hermit is looking to his own inner compass, inner light here, to see what's going on, to see what they want, what their unique path has for them. So your environment either has you isolated from others, or you just are isolated by choice from others. But this is really important in this Ten of Wands process, and making sure that you are getting what you want out of life, that you're engaged with your unique and sacred path, and that having these shoulds and other people's opinions be able to fall away. So something in your environment is causing you to go through this process of, what is it that I want? And it looks like it's probably something, this Hermit card sits right underneath this card. It looks like it's something you remember. It's something you've already experienced and already from your past here, and you have very fond memories of it. And that's something in your environment is reminding you of, remember your own North Star, remember your own inner guidance system, remember what you wanted to be when you grew up, remember what made you happy back then. There's some sort of memory here that you're engaging with. Remembering what makes you happy, what made you tick, what made you what is your unique vision? And I do see now that this is very much about hiding that from other people, keeping that away from other people, because there's a battle. There's a situation here it's not going to be easy, and you're not ready yet to make a battle or to defend this. It's all still kind of new, I feel like. 7, I mean, it's like something old, but your relationship with it is new and requires protection, which is what I'm seeing here. Requires protection. With your new vision, you're not ready to fight it out with whoever wants to fight it out with. You're still in a situation where you're being very protective of this idea and of what you want. You're not sharing it with people right now. 7 of Cups. This is your to-do list, is making some decisions, some choices, debating about finding what makes you happy and choosing that. It can be a very overwhelming process, but this does seem to be like, it's cups, so it's an emotional, what brings you emotional satisfaction, emotional joy, what makes you fulfilled. There's several options here for what could make you fulfilled. This is why you're here in this space, so that you can make a true decision over here. I mean, we can't always predict what's going to make us feel fulfilled. You probably have already made decisions that you were like, that was not it. That's not what I wanted. And now you're revisiting some of those decisions, and you're wondering, how do you know? You don't know unless you find out, right? What is actually going to bring you satisfaction? Some of it's attitude, some of it is environment, some of it is, there are jobs I'm going to be more happy in. That happiness will be easier for me to access in than other jobs, right? So how do you pick what to do, where to put your energy, what's going to make it easier to find that satisfaction that you want? So this is really you getting in touch with something and making a choice, but the choice has to be all yours, and you want to make this choice. You're wanting to make this choice in private. It's got to be your choice. We've got several cards especially with this card right here. This has to be your decision and your decision alone, and you won't know for sure. So it is kind of a guess. It is kind of a guess, but you are using your intuition. You're using everything you've learned, everything you've experienced, memories, all of that to make your decision and make your choice. So you need to make some sort of decision here. There's it could be a little overwhelming. You're not quite sure what to do. There's a couple different options and a couple different ways to go with this. This Hermit card is telling me it needs to be a decision you do make all by yourself. And I think you do need to be private about this. This choice and this decision, because no one else's opinion really matters in this decision. So, and then where you're headed, where you're going, this could either be an energy you're embodying or a person you're meeting. This is King of Wands, someone with a lot of intuition, leadership. They follow the beat of their own drum, but not only that, they can get other people to follow the beat of their own drum. This is someone who's very charismatic. People listen to them. They have a lot of initiative and a lot of charisma. They have charisma, and they lead with that charisma. Very powerful leadership, leading from a deep understanding of who they are, and having a deeply intuitive sense of where they're going, what they need to do, and people willingly, happily following them. And they need people to follow them. They're a king. They're leaders. They need the support of their subjects, but it's easy for them to accomplish because they do have such a clear vision and such a good drum beat that people are drawn to it. So maybe the choice you're making could be to go into some sort of leadership position, or maybe you find someone that's going to help you find your path, and it's someone who's known for helping other people find their paths, like some sort of therapist or known mentor that can help you here. Making sure, I think about the King of Wands, it's not just his intuition. He wants all his subjects to be in touch with their intuition and their creative forces as well. So this could be finding a mentor in whatever field this is that you want to explore further. It does really feel like a creative field, something that used to make you happy, and you're hopeful it'll make you happy now. And this could be like maybe find a teacher or find someone that can help guide you towards your own North Star, your true inner guidance system and the choices that you make. So, and then whatever you're choosing to do here, you'll either be finding a mentor or you'll be becoming a mentor yourself. So, all right, Scorpio, I hope that was helpful for you. And I hope you have a great week.